guys, welcome back to Evony with Genghis on server 68. Hope you're all enjoying the holidays. So I just wanted to do a follow-up video on those battle mechanics that we went through. And have they changed? Have they not changed? I'll go over the attacks that I referenced in my last video. I have 3 attacks here, and you can see that the enemy defender lost 0 troops. And although these were just kind of end of the battle, just throwing troops out at the guy, and they weren't proper marches. If you look at here, I have no marches. And just to recap, my subs are not the best. I probably didn't change monarch gear as all the attacks are at the same time. And my subs are either linked or not linked in some of the attacks because they were thrown at the same times. And basically my subs were dead, or I did not have proper sub generals on my subs, and some weren't wearing gear because I was just trying to level guys up at the end of battlefield. But anyways, if you look at this, here's another attack, and you can see that everybody dies. But what we're going to look at here, which is the important part, is all of the kills. So if you look right here, all the actual kills taking place, you can see range troop killed nobody, ground troop killed nobody, siege 14 killed, ground 13 nobody, range 13 nobody, siege 13 killed people. So it seems like only siege are getting the kills in these. So as some people had referenced, I did not even break through the siege area of the defender. Here's one with Tamira's better troops. Still, like, you would think these guys would, like I said in the last one, what, one stray arrow from a 14 archer can't kill a T1 horse, can't do anything. But again, if we look at here, again, it's just the siege troops getting the kills on defense. No one else is killing anything. As you look all the way down, it's only siege getting the kills. And we'll look at the final one here. And again, I sent Martinez, good general, and I actually sent some siege on this one. So that is interesting because there is 850,000 siege were sent, and they couldn't kill anything. I guess the one thing that I would say is Martinez does not have the siege range bonus ring on. I'm going to confirm that in a second, but first let's look at the defender here, and you'll see that again it's just siege doing all of this. So now I'm just going to go in, I'll check the Viking rallies and see if I can get a little bit of extra action here as we're talking, and that's good. Let's go into my Martinez and see if he does have that extension ring. If he does, I can't remember just the combinations for the mounted ring, and he does actually have it. He does have the siege machine attack range. So that is some pretty big BS that those siege did not get any kills. Like 2 or 3 of them couldn't hit the same siege machine and wound it. Anyways, that's not overly important here. What is important is some other people sent me in some battle screens as well, and also special thanks to Mr. Zoom here, and whoever on his server pointed him towards the video. So he reached out and contacted me and actually told me some stuff that he's noticed in game recently, and we'll go over that. I just want to show you the one other video. So this was a friendly subscriber. He sent this video in to me, and as you can see in this, he also killed nobody, and decent buffs on his side, right? 922% mounted troop attack, and going up against some other stuff. His debuffs, again, he said, same as me, end of the battle, and all of his subs are dead or unattached. But if we look here, it's all siege doing all the killing. So you can see 11 siege killed 150,000, 10s killed 130,000. Only siege are doing the attacking, or doing the killing, actually, sorry. So even the big 14's up there not doing anything. And then if you look at his march here, exact same thing. He had good troops and nothing came forward on that. Nothing got any kills. So talking with just gonna set a rally here for the guys, and talking with Mr. Zoom, Dr. Zoom, Zoom Jr., however he pronounces that, he basically said, yeah, it's the siege. He noticed this a couple months ago, around the time of the update, and he really added a lot of siege, and he said it wasn't till he kind of broke through the 5 million mark, I think it was, he said a really high number in the 13 and 14. So he had tons of layers from 1 to 12 for siege, and he didn't really notice that did much for defense. But the minute he started to add really, really thick layers at the 13 and 14 level, I guess some people wouldn't call that layers, but he started to really notice that made a massive difference in defense. And he said not only against me, he's noticed against tons of people, anyone who attacks him, if it's not a proper attack, and they just die. And the reason here why it's 13 and 14 that matter is the 2178 attack range. And this is something that I'm definitely going to have to work on, is my 13 and 14 siege levels. And you can see 2178, and then at 12 it drops to 1867. And same thing at 11, and then the 10s go down even more. So it is the 11 and 12s that matter, 13s and 14s that matter the most. He also said one other interesting thing to me was, he said he really noticed if people had a march size of under 1.5 million, so they didn't have a buffed up march size, he noticed that they were almost always just full splats with not losing anything. Now, for me, on that day, I actually had my my duty general for my rally spot on a sub, trying to level him up. So, as you can see down here, he adds 25% capacity and an extra 50,000, and as a special duty officer, and he was off, so I was missing that. So that's the reason why I was sending 1.5 million in the rallies instead of I think I send about 1.75 unbuffed. And he says if I would have sent that, maybe I would have started to get some kills off of him. It wouldn't have been pretty, but I would have actually damaged a few. But that's just the follow-up I wanted to give you guys. Basically, if you don't kind of break a threshold, we don't know quite what it is by Evony, but it seems to have to do with debuff on siege attack as an attacker. So you have to debuff some of that defending siege attack. You have to have more than 1.5 million rally size, so you probably got to buff up and have some layers, and then you'll be able to break through and actually do a little bit of a damage as solo. Obviously, if you're an elite player and you're going in with a 1700 archer attack or whatever type of troop you're going into attack with, this doesn't apply to you. But I'm actually really surprised because I do have an archer attack. I'm not sure. I think it's around 1350 or something like that when I buff up. And although these weren't proper marches, I did go in with very high 1200% archer attack on that, and to still get 0. So there's just some minimum thresholds on the way that you attack that Evony has obviously changed the mechanics slightly to favor defense, which in my opinion is good because they've added these massive rally sizes where people are getting hit with 20 million and it's still not enough. So they might have to do a little bit more adjustment or a little more science to help out the defensive guys. But this is Genghis. Just wanted to do a little follow-up for you guys. Thanks for everyone who did submit reports, and thanks for Zoom for reaching out and letting me know his thoughts on basically why he whooped me. So this is Genghis server 68. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.